Again to Lignano Sabbiadoro, just 3 championship titles to be decided. The 94 kilos coming right up here with David Morgan and myself, David Goldstrom, and a field of 9, including the defending champion, Simon Kolechki, who in his time has won no less than 4 European titles. Well, the 94 kilo competition, 207 pounds, 14 3/4 stone, and there you can see the 9 contenders. A chance now to meet them individually. So, representing Lithuania, Donatas Anuškevičius, and weighed in at 92.66 kilos. He was 6th in Europe a couple of years ago. Muhammad Sozayev of Russia, 2nd in the World Championships in Doha 3 years ago. Now this is the defending champion, Simon Kolechki, representing Poland, 26 years of age, and has posted an entry total of 400, which is the biggest of the field. Representing Bulgaria, Nikolai Kolev, the Bulgarians yet to really make their mark at these championships. Alibey Samadov for Azerbaijan, at 93 kilos 90 at the heavy end of the weight class, and 3rd in the European Championships last year behind Kolechki, Yevgeny Bratan of Moldavia. Next man is Edgar Vorian of Armenia, and has pushed up his total by 18 kilos from the World Championships. And Hakan Yilmaz of Turkey, former European champion in this weight category back in 2005. And completing the lineup, the 2nd of the Russians, Andrei Damanov, 2nd in the European Championships, the silver medalist 2 seasons ago when we were in Władysławowo in Poland. So those are the 9 contenders, and here's a man who's already made a mark, and this is Konstantin Piliev of the Ukraine, who lifted earlier today in the B group, and this was the best of his snatch attempts, 170 kilos, and that, along with a clean and jerk of 212 later, puts him on 382, and if 1 or 2 are a little over ambitious, then it's entirely possible that he might creep quite close to the medals, possibly individually in a clean and jerk. Here are the past winners of this championship. Oliver Caruso back in 1998, 10 years. It was a great championships for Germany, 4 gold medals, and here in 2008 we've seen indications of a revival in the German team. So just about to get underway here in this 94 kilo competition, and looks as if it's going to be Alibey Samadov on 160 kilos to begin the competition. So just to reiterate, Konstantin Piliev from the B group, who you just saw a few moments ago, he at the moment is the leader in the clubhouse, so to speak, and he might, you never know, David, he might regret being in the B group, because obviously he can't react. He didn't know what was going to happen.
Well, that's right. He clean and jerked 112, didn't he? Then jumped to 116. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what the medalists on the clean and jerk do, because if he needed 113, obviously, if you're not in the A group, you don't know that. So you're just taking what you think you might need if you're lifting in the B.
Yeah, I actually watched that competition this morning. I saw him try that 3rd clean and jerk attempt at 216. He was mighty close to getting it. And if he got the 216, then he definitely was in with a shout. But we've seen here that there's a lot of pressure and a lot of tension, and you know, as you get into these heavyweight categories, okay, it doesn't apparently look very good when you get a lot of failures, but it's just an indication. You know, we saw the world and the Olympic champion going out in the 77 kilo class, and that's, you know, that in itself tells its own story. So Lithuania, Now there are the opening weights you can see down there on that list, and 170s. And of course, that would indicate that Piliev's 170 that he finished on won't be good enough for a medal, but it just depends on how it unfolds. So, Anush Kevichis for Lithuania, 27 years of age, and this is right on the same mark that he finished on in the World Championships in Chiang Mai, when he totaled 365, but only got 50% of his lifts in. And Anuskevicius with not an auspicious start there. 3 reds.
Well, I think that underlines what you were saying, though. Although there's a few people down at 170, doesn't mean they're going to get it or indeed go any further.
Yeah, because he's got to come out and do that again. Then maybe he takes 168. He might not get much further than 170. So Hakan Yilmaz for Turkey. Well, when he's good, David, he can be very good indeed. But again, he's a very low percentage lifter. Traditionally, he just doesn't get that many in.
There's also, as with all the Turks, down on his totals.
"15 seconds.
It stays in that position a long time. Yeah, this is the thing, they're starting on weights that should be really, really easy, and they're missing them.
Well, this man was a world silver medalist back in 2003 in Vancouver on the eve of the Athens Olympic Games, and he was snatching 180, clean and jerking 220 for a total of 400. And that was one of those rare occasions when he actually put in 6 out of 6. Well, we know he can't do that. So Samadov now for Azerbaijan. .165, second attempt. Now remember, the first lift was good, 160, so this is a 5 kilo increase.
Too short.
So here's one man who looks as if he's going to fall to Piliev in terms of ranking at this stage.
I think from the spectators' viewpoint as well, it would be much better if Piliev was in there, because it's nice to see him fighting it out with the others.
But of course, it all is determined by the entry total that's posted, and if it isn't, you know, within the top 8 or 9 or 10, then that's the reason why he's not in this particular group. I mean, it has been known, David, for coaches to make a point of putting their lifters in the B group, in the sense that it takes a bit of pressure off. They can live with a little bit more freedom. But as you say, it actually takes them out of the fight, the direct contact. And it's also, I mean, it also affects the men who are in the A group.
That's not looking good at all.
Anuskevicius for Lithuania, 2 failures at 165, so he's going to be, well, the sensible thing is he's got to come out and take that again.
Well, it just looks too heavy. He's not getting enough height on the bar, nowhere near.
I should actually also mention that Mikolai Batotsky of Belarus also achieved 170 in the B group, but he weighed in at 93.96, and Konstantin Piliev at 93.88, which is why we showed Piliev, because he's the guy who's leading at this moment. So Yilmaz, second attempt at 165.
Really doesn't look good. Just looks heavy. They just the Turks just look weak. I mean, that's 15 kilos below his personal best. And it's nowhere near.
Well, it's also the weight that he ended on in Chiang Mai. So you would expect, you know, coming in the Olympic cycle, 6 months on from Thailand, you'd expect him to be able to do better than that. But, you know, we've now got 2 men within the space of the opening 6 minutes of the competition who are in jeopardy and potentially not going to get a total. So Samadov out. Now he has got the 160, but he didn't get the 165. And this is where he's, I mean, he did actually the 165. The last time I tracked him getting this sort of weight was in the Olympics in Athens. Well, there are plenty of men and plenty of talent. Kolechki to come in, Demonov, Yevgeny Bratan of Moldavia. Now, Bratan was the European bronze medalist last season and might be on for some more medals this time around. Anushka Vicious for Lithuania. Well, time is not the issue, but technique most certainly is.
Well, this is his last chance to stay in the competition. 2 pretty bad failures, actually. So can he pull it out from somewhere?
No. And he didn't total in the World Championships of 2005. He didn't total in the World Championships of 2006. And he's failed to total in the European Championships of 2008. And that really is a very disappointing start. Particularly, I mean, he has done that weight. And now, following rapidly in his footsteps, Hakan Yilmaz of Turkey facing exactly the same situation. As you saw there, even if he does this, he will only be in 4th place.
Not today.
Well, last night it was Tanazar, the Olympic champion, who failed 3 snatches in attempting to win the European 77 kilo championship. That didn't happen. And the only championship won by any Turkish lifter here, Nurjan Taylan, in the opening women's 48 kilo examination. Muhammad Sozayev for Russia. Once again, David Riggett, the boss, in the coach's corner. Sozayev, one of 2 Russians in the lineup, 4th in the World Championships a couple of years ago. And this man's made 175, 176, 177. And the bar is at 170 at the moment. This will put him into the lead. By virtue of lighter body weight, stays on the platform, feet in line. And Konstantin Piliev drops down into 2nd place. And Mikhail Patosky of Belarus into 3rd. So Yevgeny Bratan waiting in the wings. Looks like it's going to be the Armenian Edgar Vorian to open up also on 170. Less than 30 seconds for him to get on stage. This man who was just in the top 20 at the World Championships, and he's got coming down to 15 seconds. Might have appreciated just a little bit more time. 10 seconds now as he locks on.
A little bit rushed, wasn't it?
Yeah, he just didn't have that extra 5 to 10 seconds to settle. Again, coaches have got to be very alert to this. This is, it's pretty tight field here again. The spread's only 20 kilos. With these men at this weight category, 20 kilos is not that much.
Simon Kolechki warming out there, 160. Pretty comfortable.
Yeah. Well, do you know what keeps coming back all the time when I see him on? Is the Olympic Games in Sydney, wasn't it? When it seemed to us that against Kakashvilis, the gold medal was at his mercy. I still have never understood quite what happened and why he didn't come out and why he didn't go for it. Because remember, he finished his effort. He'd used, he made 4 out of 5 lifts. He still had a lift to go.
Well, Kakas really played a good game, didn't he? Good tactical game. He wasn't going to come out again. He was injured. He wasn't actually coming out for any more.
I know, but
he kept pushing it up.
Yeah. But it's always sort of nagged me that there were, I don't know, it just didn't seem right somehow. I mean, how many chances do you get to be in that situation to win an Olympic gold medal? It may never happen. It probably won't happen for him. It might, but it's long odds, really. So, Vorian of Armenia. Second attempt, same weight. And I have to say, David, he hasn't given himself any more time. It's exactly the same. If anything, it's a second or two less.
But it's a better lift. That's more like it. So, just 4 seconds to spare.
I suppose if you're the coach and you know that's the way he lifts, it's all right, but otherwise it's sort of palpitation time. So Vorian, by virtue of his lighter body weight, 90.84, David, didn't really emphasize how light he is in this class. So Piliev, the man who lifted in the B group, now into the bronze medals position, and it looks as if that 170 is going to be surpassed by a fair few, but still gives himself an overall chance.
Looks like Jack D, doesn't he, the comedian?
Well, I hope Jack D's not listening yet. Well,
oh dear.
I'm not sure I agree with you, actually.
It's not as funny.
No.
Yeah.
You just think it's sort of same sort of poker face. So still to start, Russia's Andrei Damanov, Nikolai Kolev of Bulgaria, and Kolechki, of course.
A lot of failures, isn't there? A lot of people.
Well, that's
sort of trying to lift a lot more than they're capable of.
Once again, thanks to those of you who've taken time to send us a little email into question@weightlifting.de. Brendan Flanagan, David was responding to yesterday what we got your email back again, and you asked us to say hello to the Holy Cross School in Strabane and tell them that weightlifting, particularly for the young women there, that's a sport they should think of taking up. And I'm glad you noticed that my colleague here still owes me €5.
So, Brata.
171. Second time of asking. but it would put him into the lead. I did 175 in the World Championships last year, but then had 3 goes at the clean and jerk at 210 and failed all of them. Seconds.
It's a better attempt.
Yeah, but he's the 3rd man who now has put himself in the position of having to save the day. 2 failed. Anushkevičius of Lithuania, and of course Hakan Yilmaz, former European champion. Neither of those 2 can go for a total, and are we about to see a 3rd man go the same way?
Well, and also the man from the B group, if my maths are right, is still actually in 3rd place, is he not?
Absolutely right. I mean, he's there, 93 kilos 88, and actually Patotsky of Belarus, also in the B group on 170, he's still in 4th place. And just to rub salt into the wound, Jose Navarro of Spain, who lifted 165 at the moment because of body weight, he's actually in 5th place. So
just a quick look at Kolechki. Still only on 160, so I'm not sure what he's coming in at. Well, that wasn't that convincing.
174.
172 now. 174. That seems like a heavy starter for him, and sort of unnecessary in this field as well.
Kolev, 172.
There's an amazing amount of failures in this club.
Well, that's why we got a little bit concerned, David, about Pilev's performance. Under normal circumstances, it shouldn't be up there, but maybe these aren't normal circumstances. A lot of people overestimating their ability, not making honest assessments. But Demanov, with some purpose, Andrei Demanov of Russia, just 22 years of age, and trained by a legendary figure, Nikolai Kolesnikov, Olympic champion in 1976. Remember him?
Mm. Well, and the failures go on.
Yeah. But it's like you said about Kolechki. Kolechki actually comes into this championship ranked 2nd in the world to Roman Konstantinov of Russia, who totaled up 397 in the World Championships in Chiang Mai. Kolechki 395 in Strasbourg last year at the Europeans in taking this very title.
I'm amazed he's coming in at 174. I mean, what's he got? A best of 177.
What, Kolechki? No, he's got a better. Well, if you go back, he's got a best of.
I'm looking at the ranking.
No, but if you go really way back to the World Championships in Athens, just before the Sydney Olympic Games, he's got a best of 180. And 182.5 in the Olympic Games in Sydney. But those are days gone by. I mean, he's only 26 now, but I don't think it's going to happen to that degree. 10 seconds.
What is going on?
Well, I tell you what, that lift was never in his mind.
The first one looked good, and he just dropped it behind. And that
yeah, but
one
now
just
the uncertainty's crept in. The lack of belief. And we still have a situation where Vorian, 2nd attempt, 170, leads by lighter body weight over Sazayev of Russia, who has 2 attempts left. And then Piliev and Demanov now coming in to try and take 172. 2nd attempt. And of course, it's worth remembering that Piliev had 2:12 and got very close to 2:16 in the clean and jerk.
No. So we've now got 3 athletes that have had 2 failures on 172. This is going to be, I mean, if they fail again, it's going to be an incredible amount of bombers.
And like you said, David, Kalechki, just having a look there to see whether he's still on 174. Yep, still there. Well, this is make or break. And we're going to have a succession of make or breaks here. So, Anushkevicius of Lithuania led the way in terms of failure. Hilkan Yamaz of Turkey followed in his footsteps. Now we got Nikolai Kolev of Bulgaria with the real possibility that he's going to go the same way. The second attempt just was never in his mind.
No.
It's just
not there.
No, the belief has just gone out. He just hasn't believed that. 172, third man bites the dust. Well, and bring on the next contender. There's an awful lot of disbelief around this sports hall. This might well be approaching the longest, the record for the longest run of failures. Now Damanov, 172, bags of time, but he's got to lift this. He's got to stand still with his feet in line. Looks okay. Oh.
So stays in the competition with that final lift of 172.
And that 172, David, pushes Piliev of the Ukraine off the snatch medal podium. It's Demanov of Russia ahead of Vorian of Armenia, with Sazayev of Russia in the bronze medal position. But Piliev is still, he's within 2 kilos. Kalechki, who was posted at 174, but they brought it down to 173, so somebody was listening to you, David. So this is straight into the lead, and goodness gracious, let's hope it happens. Now that's interesting, he's rolling the bar forward.
That's good.
The champion of Europe in 1999, 2000, 2006 and 2007 makes a positive start. First of his 3 attempts, weighed in at 93.77, at the heavier end of the class, but nonetheless, no problem there. Now, Bratin. Yevgeny Bratin, back to the men who have to save the day. 171 twice. This is the man who ended up behind Kalechki in 3rd place in Strasbourg a year ago, when he snatched 173 kilos towards a total of 382.
Yes, they failed twice on 171 and now going for broke.
20 seconds.
Oh, I'm very nearly doing it. But unfortunately, that's another bomber.
So when you look at the
4 bombers so far.
Yeah,
half the field are out.
Yeah. So the people who are alive in this, David, from the medal A group are Sazayev of Russia, Gavorian of Armenia, Demonov of Russia, and Kolechki of Poland. Well, it'll make the clean and jerk interesting. I wonder if any of them will defect and call it a day. So, Sazayev, Muhammad Sazayev of Russia. Well, stays in fourth place at the moment. Moved up from 85 kilos to 94 kilos 3 years ago. And in fact, all his personal best marks date back to 2005. 177 on the snatch, 221, 398 total. So there it is. You can see, well, actually, the second page will show you an awful lot of red on that graphic. You can only see the top 8 pages, but Navarro, B group, Patotsky, B group, Piliev, B group in 5th, 6th and 7th. And look at that. 9 attempts, 12 attempts, 12 failures. And every one of those athletes started the challenge as a member of the A medal final group. So Sazayev, 174 kilos for the outright lead. If he doesn't do this, he's going to be left on 170, along with Piliev and Patotsky. If Piliev had got that 216, David, that clean and jerk, that third one, that would have made life really interesting for a lot of these guys when we go to the second phase.
I think the 212 is. Oh, just a couple of steps forward. Just to hold.
Well, well done. 174 kilos. Just managed to contain himself on the 4-meter square platform and goes into the lead ahead of Kolechki, but he's finished, and we have just 3 lefts left. Just looking at Gavorian. Gavorian did 170. Just trying to... Gavorian of Armenia.
He missed 70 and got 70, so he's waiting now.
Yeah, he's waiting for 176, so he's playing with Kolechki to see where he can get a medal. But at the moment, he's in 4th place, so he's out of the medals. But the bar has gone to 176. And Kolechki on 177. So Gavorian with about 50 seconds. And here he comes. Coming out now. As we see Kolechki, but well, this is way ahead what he did in the World Championships. He did 167, so this is 9 kilos up on Thailand.
Edgar.
Good effort. And he's light, so that means he goes into the gold medal position, but of course he doesn't have any more attempts.
Yeah, but
he's out to Kolechki to take 177 and take the lead.
Yeah, but he knew, he was confident, and he's at least got the silver. And the other thing is he's given himself a cushion over Sazayev of a couple of kilos. So it's down to Kolechki. He's got 2 attempts now. So 177. Well, I was saying earlier, David, that I didn't think he'd go to 180, but if he gets this, then he's got a real good crack at doing it, and I would have thought that it was worth going for 180 to just, you know, put some distance between himself and the rest of them. It's going to be a very different competition in the second half, with so many people only going for the clean and jerk.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a bit distracting for some of the people that are going for the total.
Yeah, the coaches are going to have to be very alert to what's going on. One more attempt, and he needs to take the 177 now again, I think.
Definitely.
There's no point in being more extravagant. Well, he's got a couple of minutes to follow himself, so an opportunity for me to address with you, David, a little question that we sort of begun to answer in the 85 kilo competition earlier in the day, which some of you unfortunately might not have seen, those of you with us on British Eurosport, from Emma. She was asking about you know, the fact that now, you know, there's on a more regular basis medals going to France and Italy and the Western European countries. Why not so for Great Britain? So, I mean, I have to say that I still think...
Several answers.
Yeah, but first, before you say anything, I want to make the point that, you know, Michaela Breeze has done us proud, you know, on her own, effectively.
Yeah, I think you just hit the nail on the head. On her own. She doesn't have any real backup. You know, in the same way that myself and a few other lifters did it on their, you know, virtually on their own in the past. But I think what's happening with the other countries is two things. First of all, if you like, they're buying lifters from countries that had good lifters and making them their own. I mean, Dubai is not French, he's Cameroon, so you know, they've made him their own. But then what they're doing is they're when they've got the talent, they're putting the money in to give them what they need to reach their potential. So in Cameroon, someone like Dubai can only train 3 times a week and has to work, so he can't reach his potential. In France, he's a full-time weightlifter, and you know, and a lot of other countries like Italy, Spain are following suit.
Yeah, but it's not always a question of buying. It's the fact that they've got an organisation, they've got a system, they've got a really stable federation with good foundations. And, you know, sadly to say, and it's, you know, it's not good to say, but, you know, the British Federation, or, you know, Baller as it's known now.
Well, we've got 2 federations, Baller and World Class Weightlifting,
yeah.
and in my opinion, neither of them really know what they're doing.
Well, it is a bit shambolic.
And they're fighting each other.
Let's concentrate on Kolechki. This for the lead and the gold medal in the snatch phase.
Oh yes, well done.
Yeah. That's the experience coming out there as well from Kolechki. So he denies Edgar Vorian of Armenia by just a kilo, but that's good enough. And Kolechki, the defending European champion, looking for his 5th title in the 94 kilo class in the European division, takes it by a kilo ahead of Gavorian, who ends on 176. And Mohammad Sozayev of Russia in 3rd place. A good explosive lifting here by Kolechki, who hasn't got a big lead, but he's back on track as he.
But remember, his strength is in the clean and jerk. So you know, if he can